Winter retreat to me is a time to take a break and rest and to separate myself from stress in school and work and busyness and to be somewhere else completely and just be able to spend time with friends and with community and with God and to hear wisdom and to worship and just to be still. That's something that's really hard for me to do by myself, and it's easy for me to forget. So it's a good reminder for me just to stop.
What does winter retreat mean to me? Winter retreat, first and foremost, is a great time to connect with God and also with other people. For me, it's always been a time where I could deepen my faith and kind of look at areas in my life that I've been neglecting and have God, talk to God about that. And I don't know, just always been a time where it's always been a time where God's taught me new things about myself and about just the world around me.
Winter retreat means peace to me. It means that time where I can just get away from everything with the community that I love and just be at peace with everyone, but also to be at peace with God. There's so many opportunities where you just get to be alone with God and just the wonder of His creation. And it also means just a time of learning. I learned so much on winter retreat. There's so many talks, and that's just what it means to me.
Winter retreat to me is a time to kind of prepare and restart. It's the beginning of the year. It's the beginning of a new semester, and we kind of get to just go away and forget about all the other things that we have to do, and we can just focus on one another and on God. And I think that we sometimes during the year forget to give ourselves that time, but I love that we have this time every year to be intentional about what we're doing here at Wesley and to kind of be introspective. So it's a great time. And for me, it's always been one of the highlights of the year. And you get to do things that you won't get to do the other 362 days of the year. So it's really great.
Winter retreat means to me, it's a time of growth and change and depth. When I think about it, I just think of words that stick out to me. There are times at winter retreat where I grow in my faith and where relationships strengthen and new ones start, and everyone there is there for the purpose of being together and for learning more about Jesus. So that's what winter retreat means to me.
Last year, I think it was the last night of the retreat, we all went outside and sat around a campfire, and we had worship and served each other communion, and it was just so intimate and loving and so beautiful, and I just really felt loved by this community, and I felt loved by God, and I had been struggling with that earlier. And it was just such an important and meaningful moment and part of the retreat, and really a good way to end it.
My favorite moment at winter retreat, it's kind of hard to pin, but it's a bunch of favorite moments, I would say. Just every night at winter retreat's great because everyone goes in the cafeteria and just hangs out. And it's always cool because there's so many things going on, and you can go and sit down and have a genuine conversation with anyone. And it's a great time to get to know new people and also deepen your friendships with people that you might be acquaintances with, but that you never really knew a lot about. There's always a dance party or a rap battle or some sort of game going on, and there's always something to do. But it's just a great time to connect with a community.
My favorite memory from winter retreat was, there's so many, but one was one year it snowed, and every year they say it's going to snow, but it finally did. And just getting to play in the snow with your best friends is such a cool experience that you don't get to have all the time, especially in Florida. But also another memory is every year there's always worship, an extended worship on one of the last nights. But last year there was one, and I just remember how raw the worship was, and just everyone really didn't care who was standing next to them. Everyone really let go of being afraid or anything and just really worshiped their hearts out and their guts out. And it was just one of the first times that I really felt God's presence all over the room, and it was just a really powerful and incredible memory that I'll never forget.
My favorite moment of my 2 winter retreats would have to be the giant snowball fight of 2011, and I would assume that it's probably a lot of people's favorite. I'd never had a snowball fight, some people had never seen snow, and we had about 200 people in a snowball fight, and it was wild. I would classify it under the wild category, so it was pretty great. Hopefully it snows again this year.
A couple of my favorite memories from winter retreat really are just from last year. Been going the past few years, and now that I'm gone, I just look back on them very fondly. The first one is last year we had a bonfire and had communion, all of us. It took a really long time because there were so many people there, but it was just beautiful, and we all sang a cappella at the fire. And that was just standing back looking at it. It was a beautiful moment of just seeing our family, our community worship together. And another moment is when I just stood in the back of the fellowship hall where we have worship with one of my best friends and just held her hand the whole time we led worship and sang together. And that just, I felt so close to God then. It just was a beautiful moment, a culmination of what we were learning and what I was feeling, and just God was really present in that moment for me.
You should go on winter retreat because it's a break that I think everyone needs. We go home for Christmas, and but we still sometimes never slow down. So I think this weekend is a time to do that, and it's a time to sort of restart. We're starting a new year and a new semester, and we can renew our relationships with our friends and with God if we haven't been intentional with Him. And I feel like it's a good rest and a good time to find stillness and peace, and then take that with us into the rest of the semester. I feel like it's where we take a deep breath and then go.
You should go to winter retreat because it's a time to connect with God and connect with others.
You should go on winter retreat because I'll be there. But really, because it's just an incredible opportunity to develop real and raw relationships with everyone in this community, but also a time that you get to learn so much and absorb just so much knowledge about God and just experience love.
You should come to winter retreat because there might be snow. Vance is going to be there, and I hear he's going to be preaching. There will be great music, even better friends, and it'll be a great weekend. Great weekend. Would you like me to do that again?
I think you should go on winter retreat because I fully believe that God has something for each person that goes, and If you don't leave that room for God to work in your life that weekend, you may miss something. God is a good God and wants to give us the fullness of himself. So why not spend a weekend with some of your closest friends, intentionally seeking him, intentionally being poured into by the leaders at Wesley, and intentionally learning just what it means to be a better follower of Jesus.